All right, and I am live, and I hope everyone can hear me okay. I forgot to do checks before I started, but it looks like everything is okay. Wow, this is the first time I'm going live on the YouTubes since I've moved, and I know it's been this is my favorite phrase has always been it's been a hot minute, and it's been another one. But anyone that's watched my channel for any length of time knows that I was talking a long time about planning to move through some unfortunate circumstances. But as of May 1st, I have moved into locations. You can see I now have this blank wall. I still haven't even fully unpacked everything. Everything's still kind of a mess back here. I now have this wall immediately behind me, and I don't have like the nice deep space background studio that I used to have, unfortunately. I kind of miss that. I like that, having this area behind me that felt like an actual studio, and now I just kind of have a wall, and I'll probably do something with this. I don't want to bore people too much with too many details. I'm not going to be hanging anything on this wall because I don't want to put any nails into it, and the reason I don't want to put any nails into it is because this is only temporary. I will probably stay for about a year to 2 years, give or take, and then I have to move again. I'm frankly really tired of moving. I've moved a lot in my life, and I am tired of moving. I don't like it. No one does. That's just one of the most stressful things. Apparently, in the scale of the most stressful things in your life, it falls somewhere around divorce. And so it was not fun. It was kind of a nightmare. It's done. I am paying a lot of money now for a small space because rental has skyrocketed in the last few years, and I mean absolutely skyrocketed. Uh, so I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'd like to eventually find a place and just settle and stay there, make it my forever home. But I need a bit better income. Hence why I need to get this going again, right? Um, so, anyways, yeah, I thought I should probably start getting in the habit of doing live streams. I've wanted to do the Saturday afternoon show for a long time, and I've tried a couple of times to do that, and always run into technical difficulties. I have Talk Studio again for another year, which is nice because it's a nice simple layout, and I can get to do it in full 1080p, which is really nice. I like having that. I know a lot of people who do very well on doing YouTube streams and just use the 720 free. But I didn't want that. I wanted like a nice look to everything, especially since I'm going to be doing art, and it seems to really stand out when I do drawings. The 1080p just looks so much nicer, and the quality looks nicer. As you can tell too, I always used to complain about the lighting because I use a Logitech Brio, which is a really great camera, webcam, I should say, if you have good lighting. And if you have good lighting, it's wonderful. But as soon as you start getting a little dark, it doesn't handle low light very well at all. It's kind of too bad because I liked having those string lights, which actually, unfortunately, started dying on me. But I liked having those, and I liked having sort of the colored backgrounds with dim lighting, and then having my front area illuminated. But it just never handled light very well. Well, this place that I've moved into has pot lights, and it has a lot of them. And so I get this direct downward bright light, and it's all painted white in here. So this place is very bright, and I like that, actually. I really appreciate having kind of the nice bright lighting like this, and it makes the camera easier. So even if I'm doing, whether like it's 6 in the evening right now, whether it's midday or middle of the night, this lighting is going to look exactly the same. Although I'm getting a bit of sunlight from the windows up here. So Jim, hi, how are you? Good to see you. Yeah, it's funny. I popped into Paul's stream this morning, and I noticed that you were on, but I think I just missed you. I think you left just before I popped in. So, but yeah, I hope you're doing well. I just going to come in here to give a bit of an update, talk a bit about what's happened the last little while. I moved as of May 1st, and I am in a new location. It is a basement apartment. It's temporary for maybe a year to 2 years at the most. I'm trying not to settle in here too much because it is expensive, and then I have to pay for storage on top of that because I couldn't get everything in here. I have a full life, and it's just a basement apartment. It's nice. It's very nice down here. But it's not enough room for everything that I have, and so I'm paying additionally for storage, and that's something I still have to kind of sort out. I got a really big space, and I'm trying to reduce the stuff that's in there so I can reduce the storage, so I'm not paying as much. But yeah, so but I got a similar setup in front of me, but as you can see, I don't have like the nice deep background I used to have. It's just this flat wall that's like right there, and I don't know. I miss having that nice deep studio set. That I could get up and walk around inside. I really enjoyed that actually. So this, I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. I have to add some extra shelves here that I can put some things on. So I'll have some kind of backdrop back there. But anyways, I do need to get back into doing this. I need to start my streams up again. I need to start doing live streams, and I need to start generating some interest in this again. So the more regular that I can do this, the more people I can try and get in here. And I'm going to start trying to produce videos. It's just, again, the constant disruptions. And that's always been an issue I seem to keep running into. But I did want to do a little bit of drawing, I figured, just for fun. I saw an ad I discovered, and I thought it'd be fun to kind of redo the drawing in it, just to kind of duplicate what this ad was trying to do. As most of you know, I live in Canada, and one of the big staples of Canada we're known for is our Tim Hortons, which started in the 60s. It was a little bit different when it first started. It's always been kind of coffee and donuts, but apparently at one time they used to have hot dogs and soda pop, which they don't really kind of feature anymore. At least not the hot dogs, and soda pop is not. You can order one out of the cooler. They're really expensive though, and it's not kind of a key feature of their menu. So, but I saw this ad, and it's from 1961. It was with a drive-in where they used to advertise, like, get a hot dog and a Coke. And I thought I had this drawing that kind of made me shudder a little bit. And I would, oh, hey, how you doing, Junebug? Good to see you. Good to see you. I haven't been here in a while. Everybody keeps coming in. You'll have to go back and rewatch the beginning to me explain what's been going on, my move, and that I'm still not completely settled in. I moved May 1st, and I'm still not 100% settled in, and I'm trying to get things going again. So, but yeah. Anyway, so now everybody keeps popping in. I should just ramble about nothing at the beginning and then come into like details after, because everybody shows up after. How you doing, Matt? I did try to message back earlier today. I don't know if you had classes today or what, but yeah, I did try to message back. I'm going out. After this, I'm going to be on here for a little while to do this little drawing, and then my friend Steve is coming in from London, and then I'll be we're heading out. Oh, okay. Yeah, mine is on now at the moment. I have the do not disturb on at the moment when I go live. But he's coming up this evening, and we're supposed to go grab a bite after this. So I'll be on for about another hour at the most. So, but yeah, I let me bring this up in the window here. I have Affinity Photo open. Clip Studio has been giving me some issues on this tablet, which has really been frustrating. But let me kind of show you what I brought up if I can get this to work. So this is an ad from 1961, and I was looking at this little drawing of this character. I'm not sure what Kursh is. If that was the food provider, but you were just selling it through Tim Hortons, or how that worked. So this is from like 1961. So I'm losing my voice already. I start talking and I start losing my voice. So I'm constantly clearing my throat, and I apologize for that. That's been really frustrating lately. I have to keep having some water with me, I think, if I'm going to do this. So, but anyways, I found this, and I saw this little drawing, and I thought, I don't know who they hired at the time. I mean, it's simple and it works for what it is, right? But I thought if somebody hired me to do that drawing, what would I have done? How would I have gone about that? And I thought that's maybe what I'll kind of try and play with a little bit here. So just for shits and giggles, can I get a better arrangement on this? I mean, that might be the best I can do here. Nope. I guess that's okay. I can cover the bottom a little bit. That's all right. At least fills the screen up a little bit more, right? And maybe I'll go on the left. So I know, isn't it? This is definitely goes back. I said, I don't know. I don't know who Korsh is. You can see it on the uniform. I might have to take a break for just a couple of minutes. I need to get a drink of water. I can't believe I'm losing my voice already. But I don't know if they, like, you can see this in the ad here. It was at a Tim Hortons drive-in. Now it's a whole 7 locations. In Canada, you can't throw a stone without hitting a Tim Hortons. But yeah, so I don't know who Korsh was, if they were, what do you call it, like the food provider, or maybe like this was at a drive-in. Was it a special they had going? But I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, so I don't know. I thought I'd kind of do a little something with this, anyways. So I'll just start with doing the character, and I can add in. See, I have retro packages that I can recreate this entire thing if I want to, in like a retro package, but maybe make a few changes to it. I'm not going to have time to do the entire thing like that today, but I thought it'd be fun to at least do this little character and what I could maybe do with that. I need to take it. If you guys can excuse me for a moment, I am going to take a quick short break. If I can move this over. My apologies here. I need to get a drink of water. I don't know. I felt fine. Like I took a big gulp of water before I started this, and now I don't know what's going on. I don't know why my throat's going, but I'm going to be right back in just a few minutes while I get a drink. And I'll put on this little thing that I usually play during breaks. If I can bring this up. And I just lost something here.
There's too much water in that kettle. And now the lid's on crooked. And that means disaster for this lady. Because she is on a boat. Don't boil a kettle on a boat.
All right, there we go. I'm going to keep a glass within reach because I don't know what's. I still feel like my throat's grovelly today. Got no reason for it to be. All right, so I've opened up Affinity Photo. I normally like to use Clip Studio for this sort of thing. But Clip Studio has been giving me some problems on the tablet, and I think it's the issue is the tablet. It has nothing to do with Clip Studio. So I'm going to open up this is Affinity Designer, and Affinity Designer. It's a nice. It's been kind of the option to Adobe's Photoshop and Illustrator, because it's people have been jumping off of Adobe, and I've talked about that before with good reason. So Affinity, though, is a little bit different. And up here, you've got these two symbols up here. What it does is it actually, you have one program for Affinity Designer. There's Affinity Photo, which is kind of Photoshop. And then these are, if I can get it to come up, what they call different personas and what you can work in. So this one right here, when they start the program, it automatically opens up to this, which is more a little bit, in comparison, it's a little bit like Illustrator. So this is where you work with like nodes, right? You have this sort of thing, and you change the direction of the line, right? So so that's whoops. Yeah, anyways, I don't usually use this. I like to work more freehand. I never did learn Illustrator, and Illustrator is kind of a bit more complicated. But if you go into here, into this little symbol here, and I tap on this, this is your old school drawing, right? And if you click on your tool here, you come over, there's your, under all these headings here, you've got like your layers, your brush, your different styles, your transformations, and your effects, right? Your bevel and emboss and drop shadows, that kind of thing. So it's all under this selection right here. And let me make a color picker there. So here's your layer, and I'm actually going to add one above that right now. I have a few issues with Affinity, as much as I really like it, but in trying to be different and in trying to make sure that they are separate from Adobe, they ended up changing a few things around, and I think expecting things to be simplified. But okay, good. It's good. Yeah, we'll talk again soon, Matt. And thanks for popping in. Yeah, I definitely want to chat. I was, like I said, I was hoping to catch you earlier, but we'll chat. We'll chat again soon. I'll leave a message for you. All right. Have fun in your podcast. Take care. Anyways, I'm adding in an extra layer, drawing layer here. And give me one moment. This is buzzing. I apologize. This is a terrible thing. I shouldn't be doing this. So I'm adding in an extra layer above it. And then I'll go into my brushes. And here you can select all the different. It comes with a certain preset. And then there's others that I have added myself. So right now I'm just starting with pencils. I like something dark. So I'm just going with like a natural 4B. And yeah, let's just kind of go ahead with this. And you can see you've got, that's a really thick line, but I like that. I'm going to lower how thick that is. So let's see what I can do with kind of this guy here, right? Now, one thing I've always said, I always think it's more interesting if something's on a 3/4 view as opposed to being a straight on view. So this is very straight on. It feels like, and with the shadow and that, it feels like a cutout. Maybe it was supposed to look like that. I don't know. But the way this drop shadow comes into it, and the drop shadow is off slightly too on this arm. Anyways, with the drop shadow and the fact that it's actually straight on, there's something they call twinning you want to avoid. Now the hands are in two different positions. He's holding the drink here and one arm's out. So that's helped break that up a little bit. But when you have something that's very straight on, it looks flat, right? So anything that's where it looks like a line can come down the middle. It's great for things like logo and for basic designs, but if you want something to have a bit of character, a bit of life to it, it needs to be broken up. It needs to be shifted so your eye, how should I put it? It becomes more entertaining to the view. So to the viewer. So instead of and Jim Luhan's off as well. Okay, thanks for popping in though, Jim. It's always good to see you. At least I got to see you for a little bit here. I missed you this morning. I missed you a little this morning when we were on Paul's page, or on Paul's live stream rather. Oh, I'm not even thinking properly today. But yeah, we'll chat again for sure. Let's see what I can do with this guy. So if I he's got kind of a this kind of shape to him, but I'm gonna change his footing a little bit because I'm gonna make him stand on a 3/4 view because I think that'll be a little more interesting. And put the head up here. He's about 3 heads on, 2, 3. So he's going to be a little bit taller than what I'm doing here. Actually, I'm going to shorten the body a little bit. And I can make a bit bigger head. And he's got ice skates on, right? So you can already see where I'm going with this. And he's holding a drink, and he's holding a hot dog. I don't like the fact the drink is here in front of him like this. If you were to make this a silhouette, you'd see the hot dog. You have no idea what he was holding in front of him. So I think that should be made clear. I think it'd be better if he was actually holding them both outwards. So, right, so he could be holding a hot dog here and the drink here. Look at the bottle he's holding too. I wonder if that's the old style bottles of Coke, right? That they used to when they used to be sold in glass bottles before people started dropping them and they would explode and people were getting all badly injured. So they had to start changing them to plastic. They didn't really want to use plastic at the beginning. They knew it wasn't very environmentally friendly, but it was safer. So they had to kind of go with that. So let's see what else we can do here with this. Let's zoom in a little bit. And we'll go in a little tighter in the face. Funny when you zoom in, it actually kind of makes this look a little fuzzy, doesn't it? It's very odd. Anyways, that's really messy. So let's take this eraser. Erase some of this out for a bit. Now this character has kind of got, his face kind of comes, it's a little triangular shaped, right? And then he's got a hat on. But I want the head turned slightly. And his eyes are like right in the middle. Looking too evil. Maybe that hat's up a bit high. I'm going to go back a little bit here before I put in that hat, the hat lines. Excuse me. You should see more on this side than the other because we're going 3/4 view here, right? Eyes, his nose is looking at the underside. And a little more expression. And he's looking over at the hot dog, so he's not, I don't know if that's a good idea or not, if he should actually be looking more at the viewer, the hot dog or not, but let's just go with this for now. And so he does have these big ears sticking out, right? Now his head's turned. Because his head's turned, you'll see the ears connected to this side, right? Like if you look on me, my ears don't stick out anymore. I got old man ears now. So if you're looking straight on, you can probably just kind of see where they're connected. But as soon as you turn, this ear is disappearing. You'll see more of this connected where the jawline is, but you lose this one. You might catch a little bit. If you have big enough ears that stick out, you'll see the edge of this one. So we're just catching a little bit of the edge of that, but we'll see this ear a little bit more, right? Whoops. What did I just do? All right. Anyways, I want to get that ear. Although his ears do kind of stick out. They don't go up, but I kind of want them to go up a bit. That's how I would do it. And I'm not sure what he was doing for the top of that hat, but we're now, if you're looking at eye level, you kind of really wouldn't see the inside part of this hat as you've got right here. You would actually kind of see it curve up the other way. It would look almost flat. And I'm going to like this, and they just gave him like hair sticking out like that. There's no he's got no sideburns or anything like that, right? So he was just a teenager, I guess. And he's got the old style bow tie. And we're getting a top row of teeth. This will be cleaned up a lot better once we, in fact, I think that bow tie is going to drop a bit. All right. Not terribly exciting today, I know, but this is more just for me to get in the habit of doing this. I don't know. Let's make the eyes a little bit bigger. Mine looks more, it almost looks a little primate-like, doesn't it? Wasn't intentional. These, by the way, another reason too I did this. These ears are they're uneven and they're a little. I think they're. They feel like they're a bit too low. That's why I moved this up. I think that hat should be a bit higher. I've got a bit taller hat. Something else I forgot to mention, I'm going to, when my friend shows up, we are going to go see the 28 years later movie. The reviews have been very mixed on it. And I've heard a couple of things about it. I don't want to say I've heard spoilers. I think that's maybe a bit strong of a word. I haven't heard any, say, plot spoilers, but the ending has apparently left people scratching their heads. And I understand it's going to have sequels. There's 2 sequels to it already that are planned. Second one's been shot already, according to Danny Boyle. And the third one's already in the works, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see it. I want it to be good, because nothing else interests me that much. I've kind of the whole superhero. I'll end up seeing these, but the whole superhero blockbuster thing has kind of lost me. The Jurassic Park movies lost me ages ago. I only really liked the first one. Second one was okay, and I just feel like they're kind of going downhill after that. The Jurassic World movies didn't, as much as I like dinos and all that kind of thing, right? Like that stuff, ever since I was a kid, I've always loved, but that's too high. These are not, whoops. Oh, shit. All right. It's just not clicking for me, and I'm a little kind of tired. My friend wants to go see them. He says, "Oh, I don't care about the plot. I just want to see it for the effects." And special effects now just don't. I don't know. You can do anything in movies. I mean, kids in their backyards with the right kind of software are making effects that are better than some movies. So I don't know. The effects don't really wow me like they used to. When I was younger, that's why I got into this. I'm gonna have to tell that story because the reason I ended up taking animation is I wanted to do special effects work. I loved things like miniatures in movies, right? Model work and that kind of thing. That just like, I was like, wow, I want to do that. When I saw the Star Wars movies, and I knew all of those practical effects were all miniatures, and I was like, damn it, I want to do that. I want to build these little models and do effects for movies, and was going to get into the whole business of it, and yeah, that kind of didn't end up happening because there was no one that taught it. Where did you go to learn anything like that? We didn't have anything like that at all. But we had Sheridan College in Oakville, which was not far from me, and they taught traditional animation. And that was about as close as I was going to get. But I still liked animation. I loved cartoons growing up. Like every kid, I loved cartoons. I loved drawing them, and I loved Bugs Bunny cartoons and all that stuff. So I decided, I was going to work towards that. I was also, because I also love drawing, I was also looking into just maybe doing commercial art for that kind of had me at first. Like, even though I was still into all these special effects movies, and I thought, well, maybe if I go and learn how to draw first. I knew there was a certain artistic quality to it, and I thought if I get a job in commercial art, maybe what I could do after that. The dreams we dreamed when we were young in our early 20s. So, see, I lived in London, Ontario. And we already had a college called Fanshawe College. It's still there. And they actually had a pretty decent graphic arts program at the time. And I thought maybe, and there was a commercial art, it was called. And so I thought maybe that would be, it was more local and it would have been easier to do. But when I saw Sheridan, which was not that far, taught full traditional animation, I was like, what could I do here, right? Like, what can I do to go and take that? So In London, they had a post-secondary. Why is there a gap in there? They had a post-secondary school program that was free to take. It was like pre-college, but it was still apart from a like it wasn't part of high school. It wasn't part of a college, and it was at a the high school was called Beale. It was downtown London, HB Beale High School. It was downtown London, and but they had a whole separate arts program that was not part of the high school, and they offered like this free post-secondary school arts program. And I thought a lot of people were saying, go take that as opposed to taking a year at Fanshawe, because that would have cost money. But the Beale program is free. And you get just as good of an education, if not better. And I thought, all right, why not? I do have to take the bus like downtown and that's the only expense. And I'm glad I did, because it really was actually a really good program. There was some issues at the time I won't go into, but it was still a really good program. It was 2 years, but I only did the 1 year. I was supposed to do the second. It was a little hard to explain. I won't get into everything. There was issues anyways. But I did do the full. Oh, I just went out of focus. What the hell? I'm going to be wrapping this up in about 15 minutes. I did do... I took the 1 year. I didn't do the 2 years. There was problems with taking the second year. I did a partial program in the second year because they had another option where you could just kind of take 1 or 2 primary classes, and you didn't have to do kind of the whole thing that was kind of required. So I didn't formally finish it. I didn't care. I was more interested in getting off to Sheridan. I think that was so. Even though I was still there for another year, what's going on with this? Okay, having some issues here. Maybe it's because I changed it. Oh, that's why it turns red, because I changed it. Okay, never mind. I think that's why. Go up here to this one. It's a bit softer. It resets it when you go back, so I have to go change this a bit smaller. I want the hot dog on a bit of an angle like this. You can make a really big hot dog. If you're going to put in a hot dog in your drawing, it should be a really big hot dog. I'm going to come back later and I'll clean more of this up because it really is kind of a bit of a mess. But you can make out what's going on here. I'm going to fix up some of the fingers in that later. It is a little bit messy there. That hot dog really is big. I think his head should be bigger, and I can change that really easily because, yeah, compared to this, hot dog's not that big. I did want to make like a really big. Maybe I will shrink the size of that. Sometimes hot dog can still be a little too big, I guess. My head, I feel like should be bigger, but I'm going to do a little bit of a cheat with that. I don't know what my settings are here, but when I zoom in, that is really pixelated. I'm going to have to maybe look at my settings on that. All right, let's go into transform. Oh, transform is not in the same place in this one, is it? No, it's not. No, it is. Actually, I think the way you do it in this, you don't even need to go to transform. I think you go to here and it does. Okay, that's it. Should move around like that. I might move them up a little bit so I can see the mouth better. All right. That's a little better. He's supposed to be a kid, I guess. I think kind of a teenager, a kid. It's really messy. When I work in rough, I am messy as all get. So one problem with trying to do demos is the fact that my roughs are rough, and it's like my brain knows what are the right and wrong lines in it because I drew it. I know what I'm doing, but when I'm trying to do a demo on here, it's a little harder because it's like going, what is that? It's like, no, trust me, it's all there. It's just amongst all the other scratchy lines. But I wish I could put on some music, and YouTube dings you for that if it's something that's copyrighted. But boy, I would love to throw on some like oops, did that for a reason. Throw on some like 80s retro music right now. I'm gonna stick that pinky out. And there'll be some like toppings on it. Yellow mustard or ketchup or something. All right, so that's kind of oh, it's got that little lip on it, doesn't it? That's kind of it. There's a straw in there as well. Oh, the feet. He's got ice skates on in this case. But we'll get his foot down here. Because you've got to have at least one foot under you that will support your weight. And we'll have another foot. Now this one's kind of in behind. So let's, when you're looking down, if you offset it back a little bit, it'll see the bottom of the pant here on this leg. And we'll put the bottom here because you are looking, curve that a bit. You are looking down, as you can tell by this. We'll put the skates on him in a little bit. But the he does have a big front to the skates. Skates are like that anyways. Skates are like really, and there's not a lot of detail. I know we're going to have his pant leg come a little further down over top of the skates. Or I can even move the feet down. But they're all black. We're not going to worry about laces in this instance. And let's now figure out the skates. This one can go almost straight across. In fact, it's almost pointing kind of out the other way. Hold on. Skates are curved up more. Normally there's like a black thing on the back. It's kind of your brake. As I said, this kind of doesn't make a whole lot of sense at the moment, but it will once I kind of go in and refine it, because my stuff is messy. Anyways, so that's kind of my redo, if you will. Well, how I would kind of tackle it. So as opposed to this, hey, how you doing, sir? Scott Stinker is here. How you doing, man? Good to see you. I'm probably going to be closing up in about 5 minutes. I took an old ad, an old Tim Hortons ad for if you've heard of Tim Hortons here in Canada. And what the hell just happened? And I wanted to redo this little drawing and how I would have done it if somebody brought this to me, and how I would have handled doing this drawing. And I think one thing I ought to do is make this pop bottle a bit bigger. I think that for sure has to be larger. But that's just kind of a rough sketch how I would have changed that. Put them on a 3/4 view because I think it's more interesting. Don't have the item in front. If you were to silhouette this, it should be clear what he's doing. And if this was silhouetted, that pop would be hidden in front of him. You wouldn't see what he's holding. So having them both held out like that, if this is silhouetted, you could see exactly what's going on, that there's this character, jovial character, is holding a pop and a hot dog. And that's kind of it. I think as far as inking it, I'll do that next time because I will have to get ready very shortly. So that's kind of all I kind of wanted to do today. It was a nice chance for me to turn on the camera and Hi, sorry, I missed the previous message. I'm not sure if you're still there. Probably not. You're probably gone by now. Having fun. That's all. That's all I've got. Okay. Yeah, no problem. But it was nice of you to pop in. If you happen to catch any of this on the rerun, it was nice of you to pop in and say hi. I don't think I have any other viewers now, so I'm probably just going to call it there. I am going to save this. It's called Tim's Guy. Let's save that on the desktop. I can come back to that later, right? And with that, let's hide that. And since I'm just going to close this out now. So yeah, so I got to think of ways of making more interesting streams to hold people's attention longer rather than me just talking while I'm drawing. But people kind of wanted to see how to draw and how I do it. But when you start doing it, it's also kind of boring at the same time. If it's a video, you can kind of speed it up while I narrate. But then people are like, I want to see more detail how that's done. So you make a longer video or a live stream and you go bit by bit, but then you don't hold attention spans that long. You end up losing your audience after that. So 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Which way do you go? Actually, I should make a video about that. What do you do? Do you make a video? Do you pre-record a video on how to and have it zoom through faster while you're talking just to explain the details of what you're doing? Or do you let it run in real time, do a longer video or a live stream with all the details, but you end up boring people very quickly and you lose your audience? Or, you can kind of do both. You can kind of have a long version and the short, fast version. That both can go up. And, eventually that's where you can set up a Patreon and say, hey, listen, if you want the long version, come over to the Patreon, throw me $1 or $2. And you'll get the longer version. So there is that. But I got sunlight from my window. Anyways, I have a good friend of mine who is on the way from London, Ontario. And he's still about a half hour away, but I got to get ready. He's less than half hour away, actually, but I do have to get ready. Anyways, that's this. This is that. And hopefully, whether I do live streams or videos, they will be more interesting. I'm planning both. And we will see what happens in the very, very near future. But thank you, though, for popping in, for everybody that was here. Hopefully, we can start generating audiences. I'll try evening. I'm going to try different times a day. Maybe through the week, I'll try one in the evening. I seem to get more of an audience if I'm in the evening. But again, we'll see how this goes. Thank you, though, everybody, for popping in. And we're going to close this off. And I will see you all in the future.